Hello everybody, we're back with the comic book Christmas countdown. I'm GhostCritic and we've made it to our top 3 of my favourite issue number 1s of 2016. And I had a tough choice with this one because I wanted to push it higher in the top 10 countdown, but it was a book that had only just come out, and the one that I decided to put it at number 2 had just finished, but it was more of a body of work that I enjoyed. So maybe if this book had come out, if I had at least another issue of it, it might have made it further up, but it's no less a great choice. Talking of course about AD After Death, Scott Snyder and Jeff Lemire. And I have to say, of two creators that I would never have thought of putting together, it is these two. Scott Snyder, huge name over at DC with his Batman run. Jeff Lemire being more of a kind of indie type guy. And I just thought, this isn't going to work, but it's two big names that I really like. I like Scott Snyder's run before we just came back to number 1s and they rejigged all the numbers of Batman and all that business. He's a great storyteller. He has everything planned out. And with Jeff Lemire's more loose kind of art style, I just thought, how is this going to work? But my God, it does. Everything about this screams quality, from this gorgeous kind of magazine format, prestige edition kind of product. We have it, this kind of thick bound cardstock with this strange, very appealing feel to it. It's like a painting canvas almost. It was a huge surprise. It was hyped up, of course, but people have been talking about it for months and months and months, and it just did not disappoint. We have Scott Snyder doing something I've never really seen him do as well as he's done here, and have this tenderness about his writing. This was felt very personable. The characters were engaging. They weren't these kind of lofty superheroes with ridiculously over-the-top lives. These were real people, and he kind of drew out their essences in just this first book. And then you add on to that Lemire's kind of very evocative art style in here. We have the kind of regular comic book style of telling the story here, with Jeff Lemire's very unique style, and then you kind of get given these set of prose. Well, they're prose. You have like a full page of writing with just kind of a small bit of illustration by Lemire to the side of it. And you don't think it should work, but it does. It just gives this book something special. It took a long time to read this, and it wasn't unpleasant either. I didn't feel I was taking too long on reading this book. It needed the time to absorb. I just love this use of prose coupled with those sparse illustrations. I liked the fact that the prose was written in that kind of old style kind of typewriter font, and where in this, I guess, kind of sort of a post-apocalyptic world where death basically has been cured, and so the people's lives who inhabit this world now are obviously that much longer, so they work much longer shifts, and I mean much longer. But there does seem to be a mystery involved. There may be some sort of deal or payoff to have this world where no one can die anymore. and this is where we find our main character, who just seems to be, you know, like in Game of Thrones and the wall, and they're defending the wall from what's behind it. There does feel like a kind of essence of that at this kind of way station, I guess you'd call it, a kind of scientific station that's viewing what's beyond. And there is this mystery of people who have gone in there and never returned. But overall, you know, this book feels like it needs to be treasured. It's almost like a keepsake that you're going to hand down from like generation to generation. There is something incredibly special about this book, and I wholeheartedly recommend anyone to go and find copies of this out. It's gone into, I think it's probably at its third printing by now, if not more. It is a shame that there is only going to be 3 books of this, but I'm going to look forward to every single one of them.